Hi there, I'm Renee Richardson. I'm the Director of Philanthropy for Metallica's All Within My Hands Foundation, and we're bringing back Meet the Grantee. We thought you as donors and fans would like to get to know some of the organizations that we support throughout the year. And in 2021, we did a lot of cool things. The band actually hit the road again for some festivals and some underplay shows. And one such show was pretty special. And we're going to talk to Joe Shanahan. He's the owner and founder of Metro Chicago and Smart Bar, a very cool venue where the band played in September of 2021. And we're also going to talk to the recipient of a donation we made together, and that is Drew Moran, Director of Corporate and Foundation Partnerships at Lakeview Pantry. It was a pretty exciting time for Metallica to come to a venue that they hadn't been in 38 years. How did that show come to be?
My first question to the band was, well, why did it take you so long? They were commemorating the release of one of their most important records. And so the band, has a connection to this city in a unique way, and they looked at the idea of coming back and celebrating the anniversary of the record, and basically bringing the band back to Metro, which we were very excited about doing.
Thank you for doing it. Something I thought about when I saw everybody coming to your venue. Here we were in year 2 of a pandemic, and venues like yours were hit very hard by, places had to close, bands were unable to tour. You still had a staff to manage. How, or really, what made you decide to give back, even though you were really trying to come back yourself, but to make the decision to donate back to a local food bank? What made you decide to do that?
Everyone that was involved in the show here, boots on the ground at Metro, we saw that others were not as maybe as in good shape. I would drive past the Lakeview Pantry on my way to work while the venue was, shuttered for 16 months. And I saw the lines in front of the Lakeview Pantry growing day to day, and that hit me hard. So when we began to talk about this as a group internally about giving back, and that's what we've for 40 years done. We look at our neighborhood as a community, and this is an important institution, Metro, as an institution of culture and live music, and fans and friends enjoying that experience. The lines at Lakeview Pantry really were getting long, and so I reached out to Kelly and her team at Lakeview Pantry and began a conversation about, in a way, how can we help? And then this landed, and then I got this call from Tony DiCiaccio and began to talk about putting something together, and my staff, of course, wanting to come back to work, but not just coming back for any regular local band. This was a liftoff that lifted our spirits, and in many, many ways. It's immeasurable on how it felt for all of us working on that show.
As the Director of Philanthropy for the foundation, just that element of the guys doing what they do, giving back on each stop that they make, it was really great to get those wheels in motion. And even better that we were able to do something together, that Drew, who is going to tell us how he took our funds and turned them into something really cool for Lakeview Pantry. Hi, Drew Moran, how are you?
Hi, I'm doing well. Thank you so incredibly much, both for your generosity to our communities we serve across Chicago, for Metro Smart Bar's longtime partnership. I mean, you guys are celebrating your 40th year now, I think, and we're celebrating our 51st. So real pillars of the community in different ways. And we're thankful for that longtime support. And we really did some amazing stuff in the past couple of years, helped a lot of people. And it's contributions like All Within My Hands and Metro Chicago that help us do that, literally help us keep the lights on, but also help us make real impact in people's lives. We have been around for 50 years. And for the most of that, we've been doing food services, right? The really hands-on getting food on the dinner table is an outcome in so many ways for people. That's really understandable. But in the last couple of years, with the onset of the pandemic, Joe was talking about the lines outside of our buildings. We were serving upwards of 400% more people. Those numbers are still high, right? People are dealing with record inflation, right? Food is up 6 to 7% more. And for a low-income family, that is a big, big increase in your really tight budget. And then on top of that, right, you know, in Chicago, it's cold. And so people are waking up to sub-zero temperatures. You know, luckily, many of us can crank up the thermostat, but a lot of people can't. You know, they're deciding what's that extra $30, $40 going to do to their food budget. And so we are working every day in the entire city of Chicago. We serve actually the entire city to provide those essential food services, but not only that, also helping people with other social services, accessing things like Medicare and Medicaid. That can be hard to understand how to do. And so we help people with all types of social services. We also provide absolutely free mental health counseling. So the $20,000 that combined that you donated to Lakeview Pantry, which is an incredible thing, we were able to provide 8 meals per dollar, right? So that comes out to 160,000 meals for Chicagoans. And not only that, but we were able to leverage your gift as a match for our Giving Tuesday work, which we are super grateful for. That inspired over 300 people to make a donation that day. $110,000 were raised that day to support those services.
Something that's in my DNA, as I've always said, act locally and think globally. And I know that with a band of the global stature of Metallica, it brought so many eyes and ears to, our basic need in our neighborhood to help those who live within the striking distance of Metro and the Lakeview Pantry. And for most people that don't know this, we're only, not even a mile from each other as far as where our institutions and our facilities live. And I think that's a very important aspect of it, is that, you look at it and say, we are a local group, we're a local venue, you're a local giving back, and looking to Metallica to step in and give some spotlight to it. I'm thrilled that we were able to do that.
To hear how the pieces connect, to hear how deeply rooted, Joe, your club is in the community, and how giving back is as important to you guys as it is to the band. One thing I noticed along the way as I got to know Lakeview Pantry was the level of dignity at which you give back to the folks who are coming maybe for the first time asking for help. And would you talk a little bit about your, the opportunities where people could pre-order their food, order what they want, and talk a little bit about how that changed during COVID for you?
So coming to a food pantry for the first time can be an incredibly hard thing, as everyone can imagine, if you haven't had to do it yourself. And something we really pride ourselves on is that when someone comes through the door, so many things are important. They need a smiling face, right? Whether that's someone who's volunteering from a corporate organization or one of our day-to-day volunteers who come in, from the community, that they are shown respect and that we give them as much agency as possible in that situation. So if you come in, you should be able to choose what type of food you're going to eat, right? And you should be able to have culturally appropriate food for you and your family and what you normally eat. So we strive to do those things, and we try to meet the community in really innovative ways. Over the past few years, we've launched some really transformational programs. One of which you mentioned, Renee, is our online market. So it's the first of its kind in Chicago. People can go online, register, get in their account, and then make the selections of the food they want, and then swing by and pick up those choices. And so it helped us in a couple of ways, right? We you can't have a bunch of people all in one space, making choices during the pandemic, right? So that really challenged us to think critically. And we're glad that we had that available because it allows people to maintain that agency and that choice in the food that they're getting. But also, if you're a mom that unfortunately you're working 40 hours a week, still living in poverty, right? You have several kids, it's hard to wait in line at a food pantry, right? Or to explain to them, your kids, while you're there, right? Those are really tough things. So we want to make it as easy as possible. Now you can just log on, make your choices, swing by and pick it up. You don't even have to get out of the car, right? So that's one of many different programs that we're doing to give people access.
As a person with a voice for food banks everywhere, what should people be thinking about giving back to their local food bank? What's the best way? Is it financial? Is it volunteering? Is it just, tell us what's needed right now most?
Today, the most immediate thing you can do, you can go to lakeviewpantry.org/donate and make a donation. That's every dollar, again, 8 meals to people in need, or to your local food bank or food pantry, right? Or agency that provides those services. Very important. The second thing is volunteering is such a powerful thing that you can do, especially if you feel like you are less at risk, right? If you're vaccinated and you're boosted and you feel like you can help in a way that maybe other people can't, we need you. We need you now because we can only hand out the food that we have the hands to do it with, right? So you can sign yourself up. You can, instead of having a birthday dinner with your friends, go to your local food pantry and help to distribute food and have your friends make a donation, right? If you work for a corporation or a small business, call up your local food pantry and say, hey, how can we help? Just like Joe, just like the band did, just like you, Renee, reaching out and saying, hey, let's figure something out. Really, the future is figuring out how we can make these different organizations and agencies work together in a really effective way and talking to each other. So reach out to someone, stop by your local food pantry, ask how you can help. People are ready with open hands.
Joe Shanahan, Drew Moran, thank you guys both for being part of Meet the Grantee. And I look forward to seeing you in Chicago sometime when it's warm.
Come hang out with us. Come hang out with us. We're ready for you.
We'd love it.
That's right, Drew.